Welcome to John's Crit Vlog, Tulsa Tough edition. I was down in Tulsa, Oklahoma this past weekend, doing 3 days of crit racing. It's such a fun event, this Tulsa Tough. This footage is from the second day. This course is an L shape, like you see in the bottom right there. All left-handers, and then the one right-hander. It's the next corner that you'll see. Not crazy technical. There's a little bit of a hill coming up out of this next right-hander that was bigger than it looks on camera, but it's not decisive like the one on Sunday, the infamous Crybaby Hill. But this is enough to put some sting into your legs every lap, especially if you had to take that last right-hander poorly. Like if you had to touch brakes, you were going to have to work much harder up this hill. This left-hander at the top of the hill is a little bit of a pinch point sometimes. You'll see later on I crashed in this corner, but not super bad. Then there's a screaming descent over here. In our race, there was a homeless man who walked out onto the course, and he got absolutely clobbered by the pack of riders. It was not looking great. I left that out of the video, but still plenty of other crashes to see. That seemed to be a theme of the weekend. Oh, here's a fun corner. United guy coming up the inside. This guy decides to body him up and just puts his hip into his handlebars, foot out, flat out, at 30-something miles an hour through the corner. He saw what went down. The other guy just like turned in on his handlebars. It was not nice of the other guy. But nobody went down, so that was good. We had some falling later. That was like the theme of the weekend. Those crashes where like people love to crash right in front of me, it seemed. On the first 2 days, I had to take 5 trips to the pit, which it's so hard to race when you're going to the pit like almost every lap, it feels like. And all of these were just things that I got caught in. Like I didn't, cause any crashes or have any crashes on my own volition, but just kept getting caught up in it. And every time they put you back in, you get put back in at the back of a pack with 130 guys, and it's so challenging to move up. On both nights, I was in the pit when like free laps expired at 8 to go, and just frantically trying to get to the front. And then by the time you get to the front, you had to waste all your energy to get there inside 8 to go, and it's not a good way to race. Sunday didn't have any crashing for me, no trips to the pit. But coming up here, it gets a little bunchy into this left-hander, and some guys are crossing wheels on the inside if you want to play it back, and basically just perpetuates to the outside, and I get caught up in it. And you never really want to see yourself on the camera when the camera's mounted under your handlebars. Probably means that you're not doing something right. And so got back up. Some of the stuff on my bike got all twisted up. But once I got back in, got put back in at the back, and I was just trying to get spots back so I could like maybe do something in. And this downhill corner ended up being a great spot for it. Come through there, had an open space so I didn't have to touch it, my brakes, and I put a little bit of an effort in. And then now I get to just coast on that momentum up the left side. Probably past like 30 guys on that one little move there. And coming into this left-hander, everybody was like squeezing to the right and getting on the brakes to like follow the person in front of them. But if you just swung out to the left on the inside and stayed off the brakes, you could make up a ton of spots because we were going so slow through that corner some laps. Obviously, you shouldn't go flying up the inside if you don't have the skills to make it around the corner, like in the space that you're going to have. But if you're a confident bike handler, it's a great spot to go. And then after I made that move, I wasn't trying to pass dudes on the uphill because I knew I was going to be too tired if I did that. So I didn't do that. I was patient, waiting for this downhill corner again. Just kind of sitting in through here. And I think on this lap, this guy in front of me decided he wanted to move up on the downhill. So I got to slot up a few more spots even sooner because I got a free ride from him. I wasn't going to like pedal hard on this downhill to get spots, but I was able to follow wheels. Yeah, this happened a lot during the race. People would just get impatient, and they're like, I'm going to hammer down this side and make up spots. And if you just followed somebody who was feeling impatient about passing, it's pretty easy to get some spots back on the downhill. And then you also came into the bottom corner with a lot of momentum, and you could try to carry that down this home straight and pick off even more guys into corner one. It seemed like once you got through corner one, everything was sorted out, and people had squeezed down to 1 or 2 wide. And then after that, there wasn't as many opportunities. But on this home straight, every lap it would bunch up, and you could get some chances to move up. So my frantic moving up here at the end of this race, it was working. I had one more big move, I think, on the next lap into that left-hander on the downhill, where I made up a lot of spots, and I probably got up to around 30th, and then that was with like 3 to go, and I was feeling good about that position, but I had to work really hard to get there. Like, my heart rate is pushing 180 here, which that's like not sustainable for me. That's very high for me. So although I was able to get back up towards the pointy end of the race, I didn't have anything left when I got there. And so I ended up on like the last lap and a half probably just pulling out to the side and going backwards, and like all of these dudes that I pass now came back past me on that one. Oh yeah, here's some more spots. Yeah, I was getting a little frantic now. I was like, I need to go. And it's pretty easy to like take the corner wide open when you're this far back, when you're not really fighting for the front. But yeah, that's kind of the theme of the first few days of the weekend. First 2 days of the weekend was just being stuck or involved in crashes at inopportune times that kind of took me out of the race. That being said, I still took 27th on the first night, which was better than I did last year at Tulsa. But yeah, no great results to write home about. But it's still a super fun weekend. Sunday on Crybaby Hill is so much fun. It's like this giant frat party that I think some of the people probably actually have no idea that there's a bike race going on, and it's just so much fun to be racing through that like sound tunnel. So would recommend making it out to Tulsa for these 3 days of crits in June. So thank you for watching, everyone. Also, if you enjoy these videos I'm making, I'm going to throw a link to my Bike MS fundraising page in the description, and I would really appreciate any donations so that I can get to that fundraising minimum. Thanks.